You're right, everyone. It's Ace here from Romy Custom Catapults as always. So a little bit of a unique build I thought I'd share with you all here. Firstly, it's a TTF Velociraptor. Don't do many TTF builds, to be honest with you, especially not Velociraptors. I tend to find that OTT is more popular in my ranges. But it was nice to make a bit of a change. There's also a bit of a handle extension on this as well, so it's slightly longer. Now, the build, where do I start? Let's start with the layers. We've got two layers of carbon. One is wavy edged, one is straight edged. We've also got two layers of 1/2 mm black G10, which you can just about see in there. Now, the outer face, I wanted to do something different. It was going to have stingray inlaid into it, which it has, as you can see. But knowing the colour of the inlays I was going to use, they're almost like a lead type colour, lead out of a pencil. And I wanted to do the same with the face. Now, this particular carbon I use for the face is a straight edge carbon. It's very durable, very tough. But the actual carbon pattern on the face sands away very, very easily. That's why I don't use it on the face, because the heavy sanding, I end up sanding it away in patches and whatnot, and it just doesn't really work for me. Plus, I find you can't really get as good a polished finish on it as some of the other carbons I use. But in this case, I wanted to sand away the pattern completely, and that's what I've done. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this, I wanted to give it a different look that's not out there. You don't see anyone intentionally sanding the whole pattern off of the carbon. I also wanted that lead pencil kind of look and shimmer, which would really, I feel, set the inlays off. Now, I've done the inlays like this on a build I've done for myself with normal carbon weave, and it looked very good, but it also kind of looked fussy. So I thought this way, it won't look so fussy. It's a plainer back, and then these are the focal points. Now, as you can see, it's sanded more heavily on the tips than the rest of the face. I did consider sanding away the whole lot and having the whole lot even, but I kind of like how it is sanded away like that on the tips. Again, it adds a different shimmer, it adds a different dimension. Originally, I had a bit of a nightmare of sanding this because I thought it was left with scratches, and on looking at the build, it wasn't actually scratches, it's just actually in the it's a fibrous material, remember. So what I thought was scratches weren't. So I wasn't actually getting anywhere. But I'm happy with the finish I've got. I hope you all like this. I mean, it'll be for some people. Other people, it won't be. But I like the look of it. I like that lead kind of look it's got. And as you can see, the inlays really pop off of it. I think they look better than they did on the carbon weave one that I did for myself, in my personal opinion. Nice finish on all of this. You can feel a couple of little edges on the inlays, but like I've done in the previous video, you can... this one sits up a tiny bit there, look, but it's near impossible to get them completely flush. Obviously, you've got to sand them back and whatnot, but I'm extremely happy. I'm very happy. Now, the next layer, obviously, we've got layers of G10, two layers of G10, then you've got the wavy pattern carbon in the middle, but I chose to split the carbon core up using neon green G10 spacers. So the core itself is made up of 4 separate pieces of carbon, as you can see. So that added difficulty to the work. And then the face is this fantastic piece of wood. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it might be beech. I'm not sure. I could find out the name of what the wood is, the type of wood, if the owner wants me to. I'm pretty sure it's beech, but it's been triple dyed, and it is a fantastic piece of wood. The colours are just completely toxic. I wanted the rest of the frame to be dark, so this really popped. Now, I've done a bit of a Picasso split face. You've got many pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate pieces spaced out with neon G10. I've got a really nice finish on the wood. This wood is really, really good, but what I did do, it's stabilised and dyed. There's minimum shrinkage compared to other woods. It's a brand I trust. But I heavily wet sand. And if I can't heavily wet sand the wood, then I won't use it. And this I heavily wet sanded. I expected shrinkage. a little bit, and I did get it, especially with having these spaces. I could feel little bits of sharp edges. That's why I held the build back about 4 or 5 days after I'd completed it. I wanted to see where the shrinkage went on the face. No shrinkage on the sides whatsoever, nothing. Completely perfect. Just a little bit on the face where you come across these spaces. And like I say, you could feel little bits of edges. Well, what I did, I give it 4 or 5 days, let it do its shrinking. And when I say shrinking, it was minimum. It's just enough just to feel an edge. Then I dry sanded the face again from 800 up to 2,500 grit, just to take the edges off. And then I kind of polished it, but not so much as a wet polish. I didn't use as much polish. The polish I let dry out a little bit. I didn't want no moisture going back into the wood with the polish. So got a really nice finish. I mean, the wood's shining as it should be. No edges, sharp edges. You can feel dimps a little bit, but no sharp edges. Wood will shrink, unfortunately. No matter how well it's been stabilised, you are going to get it, unless it's like a desert ironwood or something like that. That's unbelievably strong. It's got a waxy texture to it. Strong and heavy wood. It actually sinks. But I'm happy with that. I'm really, really happy with the build. Really, really happy with the look of it. I think it's got something really different, unique. I like that finish I've got on there. It's different. I've never done it before. I think it makes the stingray really pop. I love the layers. I love how it's all split up. And that wood is phenomenal. Really is phenomenal. Try and get as close as I can on it, so you can get a real good feel for it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I love the funkiness of that wood. I'm going to try and get some more of it in a different colour. Hope it works well for the new customer. Yeah, one extremely unique build we've got there. Cheers all, and thanks for watching.